Good evening, council members and citizens of Ocean Shores. In the past, I've talked about how law enforcement is all about tradition when it comes to pinning badges on new officers as well as promoting officers. That, along with having those officers publicly swear their pledges to uphold the laws and protect the citizens of this city in front of the mayor and sitting council and the observing public. If I could have my 3 sergeants step forward, please. Due to COVID shutting down everything last year, I did not get the chance to publicly acknowledge and introduce 2 of our newest sergeants, Sergeant Church and Sergeant Iverson. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you Kellen Church, who was promoted to the rank of sergeant on December 1st of 2020. Sergeant Church was born and raised in Grays Harbor County. He began his career in law enforcement as a reserve officer in 2014 with the Cosmopolis Police Department. He also served as a provisional officer with the Long Beach Police Department prior to being hired as an officer here in Ocean Shores in March of 2016. Sergeant Church currently serves as a taser instructor, defensive tactics instructor, and field training officer. And in the summer months, you may find him out on the boat working as a Marine Patrol officer. On the 4th of July weekend, he demonstrated his ability to take control of his patrol staff by directing them to go where they were needed the most. And at one point, that included directing me to respond to a call because I was closest, and he knew a timely response was necessary. Sergeant Church has a long career ahead of him, and we are lucky to have him on our staff. I look forward to watching him continue to grow within this department. Next, I would like to introduce Chris Iverson, who was promoted to the rank of sergeant on January 1st of 2021. Sergeant Iverson became a reserve police officer with the Ocean Shores Police Department in 1993, and in January of 1997, he took a position as a full-time police officer. During his career here, Sergeant Iverson has served as a Marine Patrol Section Coordinator, the Reserve Officer Section Coordinator, Bicycle Patrol Officer, Taser Instructor, Detective, a Special Operations Team member, and he was a team leader on the Surf Rescue Team. Currently, he is serving as a Marine Patrol Officer and the Shop with a Cop Coordinator, which he and his wife have done an outstanding job with for this department. During his 24 years of service, Sergeant Iverson has received many letters of appreciation, certificates of commendation, and 4 medals of merit. And in 2009, he was selected as Officer of the Year. Sergeant Iverson is the most senior of our staff, and time after time, he makes me proud with the way he assists the public by going above and beyond what is required of him. He brings his many years of experience to his new position where he will be mentoring the officers he supervises, and I am excited to have him in the current role as a sergeant. The 3rd sergeant you see standing before you is Jeffrey Justman. Sergeant Justman was recently promoted on September 1st. Sergeant Justman has been with the Ocean Shores Police Department since October of 2016. Prior to becoming a police officer, he was a professional mountain guide who has climbed some of the highest mountains in the world, including Mount Everest. Sergeant Justman is originally from the state of Wisconsin, where he grew up hunting and fishing, which he still enjoys. He currently serves as a Marine Patrol officer, field training officer, and an active shooter instructor for the department. And he didn't know this prior to tonight, but you will be hearing more from him in the future because he is a gifted public speaker, and I will be using that whenever I can. And up until he heard that being said, Sergeant Justman was very excited to hold this new position. He brings an enthusiasm like no other, and I look forward to watching him grow in this department. At this time, I'd like to have Sarah swear these 3 sergeants into their new ranks.
Okay, raise your right hand. I state your name individually.
I, Chris I, Jeffrey Justman,
Do solemnly swear that I will
do solemnly swear that I will
support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America,
support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Washington,
the Constitution of the State of Washington,
the laws of the State of Washington,
the laws of the State of Washington,
the ordinances of the City of Ocean Shores,
the ordinances of the City of Ocean Shores,
and will faithfully perform the duties of
and will faithfully perform the duties of
Police Sergeant for the City of Ocean Shores, Washington,
Police Sergeant for the City of Ocean Shores, Washington,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Please join me in congratulating these three outstanding sergeants. Thank you, guys. Moving on, I would like to introduce Officer Keegan Hines. If he would step forward. Officer Heinz was hired on April 19th of 2020. He was sent off to the Criminal Justice Training Center on May 5th, where he went through 720 hours of training. He graduated on September 9th and started his first shift as a fully sworn officer this last Friday. Officer Heinz was born and raised in the Seattle area. He earned his Associates of Science degree from North Seattle College and his Bachelor of Science degree in biology from the University of Washington. After graduating, Officer Heinz traveled to Brazil and Argentina, where he served as an English teacher. Because of this, he is now fluent in Spanish and Portuguese. After returning from his travels, he realized he wanted a career in law enforcement. He was working for Swedish Hospital as a security officer when we hired him to be a patrol officer here in Ocean Shores. Officer Heinz is very energetic and excited to have the opportunity to be in the position he is currently in, and we are very happy to have him with us. Officer Heinz's class was the first to have an in-person graduation ceremony at the academy since COVID shut down everything last year. But they did not do an official badge pinning for his class, nor did they swear in his class. So this is the first public swearing in and badge pinning for Officer Heinz. His wife could not be here this evening, so Officer Heinz asked me to officially pin his badge, and I said I would be honored to do so. But he may be sorry that he asked me to do that, because I did not promise I would not stick him with the pin. So, and after I pin his badge, then I will ask Sarah to come up and swear him in again.
Check.
We need that, trust me. Okay, raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Keegan Patrick Hines,
Do solemnly swear that
do solemnly swear that
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America,
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Washington,
the Constitution of the State of Washington,
the laws of the State of Washington,
the laws of the State of Washington,
the ordinances of the City of Ocean Shores,
the ordinances of the City of Ocean Shores,
and will faithfully perform the duties of
and will faithfully perform the duties of
Police Officer for the City of Ocean Shores, Washington,
Police Officer for the City of Ocean Shores, Washington,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
And thank you again, Sarah. Now, please join me in welcoming Officer Heinz to the Ocean Shores Police Department. Thank you. I would like to take one more moment to acknowledge the family members that are here tonight to support all of these individuals. To have a successful career in law enforcement with rotating shifts, working all hours, day and night, working holidays, and getting called in to work at a moment's notice, you need a strong foundation of support at home. We all have a work family and a home family. I always stress that the home family will more often than not will be the priority. They are our foundation. And if they are not made to be our priority, then it can reflect on that individual's relationship with their work family as well as how they interact with the public. Family support is imperative for the success of police officers, as demonstrated here tonight, as Sergeant Church is joined by his wife and 2 young children and his parents. Sergeant Iverson is joined by his wife and his 2 daughters. And Sergeant Justman is joined by his wife. And I know Officer Heinz' wife is very much in support of his new position here, but unfortunately she was unable to make it. And of course, we have our additional work family members that have shown up here to support those members that were acknowledged tonight. And thank you, everybody, for being here. Appreciate it.